Welcome to Muscle and Money, the podcast for gym owners aiming to elevate their business. I'm your host, Andres Fujic. Join us as we explore top strategies of the fitness entrepreneurs, uncovering the blueprints of their achievements and offering actionable advice to increase revenue, boost retention rates, and expand your locations. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your operations, Muscle and Money is your go-to resource. Let's build stronger businesses one episode at a time. Welcome everybody. My name is Andre. I'm host of Muscle and Money, and today I am enjoying this incredible two people having as a guests on our podcast. We have today Audrey and Toni. They're proud owner of YogaSix, multiple locations. Incredible story behind them. I'm so excited to have you guys on the call. They're owning YogaSix and Tonik Fitness, and they have so many good nuggets to share with you guys today. So without further ado, thank you guys for joining us today.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Thank you.
So I know your story, but I would love this story to be also shared with the people that are listening. You know, this community of the business owner in the fitness world is a lonely community, and we're all looking for relevance. Sometimes when we hear somebody's success, we learn from that. Sometimes we heard somebody's struggles, we kind of align, says, oh, we are not alone. But I want to, just in a 2 to 5 minutes, give us a quick story about why YogaSix. How did you get there? And why did you choose this brand and how it becomes your passion now?
Oh, great questions. It's a longer story probably than we have here, but we did start up with YogaSix in 2020, which was the year of COVID. So we dug in deep during those rough first couple of years in business. It was our first brick and mortar. We'd had a business before, but it wasn't brick and mortar. So it was really a steep learning curve for us. I had come from a fitness background, but not owning something. I had managed a fitness center, and Toni came from a sales background, selling all kinds of stuff, hardware and hot tubs and things like that. And we came to a point in our careers where we were both looking for something new. We took an online survey. We didn't know really what it was about. The next thing you know, a franchise consultant was calling us. And that's when we learned about what even is a franchise. And we went from there.
Wow. But you're an incredible match, guys. You have an industry background, passion for sport, so much experience in that. And then you guys partner up on the sales and the business side. I think it's a match made in heaven. So today what we want to do is really tell us what is the goal. Like you started, you didn't know what's coming up. COVID, oh my God. Honestly, I think that was a blessing. Just a little sidetrack. Most of the Fortune 500 companies today that exist started either in a recession or depression, right? If you start in worst possible time, there's nothing worse that happened than that, right? It's just one way. Right?
Exactly.
I know how much sweat and money and effort you had to put there. But tell us, what's the goal now? Like you have 3 locations opening for a second business as well. What's the goal?
Yeah, I mean, we're optimistic. We're always hopeful. We always hope for and plan for the best, while also understanding what the worst could be and plan for that too. But we're just on a roll. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, I'd say the goal is we want to develop enough YogaSixes. So at some point in time when we decide we'll retire, probably more in our 90s, that we'll have systems, operations, things will be moving smoother, economies of scale. So we figure we need to get at least 6, possibly more. And at that point, then we'll be a valuable commodity for someone else to pick up when we decide we want to have our exit plan.
Beautiful. Start with the exit, guys. For you who is listening this, when I was coached by Tony Robbins, he very first question he asked, what's your exit plan? Like, if you don't know your exit plan, how do you know you're going to get there? Like, if you know what you're doing.
Sorry. Yeah.
So very smart. Many people don't know that. So one of the differentiators I found is there's people who find their success with 1 locations, with the 2 locations. You already have ambitions to do 6 and more. But there is plan as well. Plan without emotions, plan without passion, plan without drive doesn't really make it happen. So how do you find your drive, your hunger at this moment? You already have hands full with so much, but you have so much ambitions for an even bigger goal, like doubling what you have it. Who knows what else? Like, what's the source of your hunger? Like, how do you stay hungry?
Mm.
I think part of it is to stave off boredom, frankly. We're both people who like to constantly learn, and there's no better learning curve than deciding to add to your venture or even expand. So on Tonik Fitness, for example, we're expanding with an offshoot company, Zing Human Potential, and it's corporate wellness. And we already have a very large client and are building on that one. We have 2 clients. So it's these ideas come to us and we kind of filter which ones make sense, which ones align with where we're going. And by adding to them, it's a lot of work, but it's very exciting.
Yeah, I think just to add to that, we feel like the things that we started with get better when we add to them. So, for example, our whole team at our very first location, they didn't want us to open a second one because they were like, no, we're your baby. Like, don't divide your attention.
Ooh.
But when we did open the second one, it really created a bigger dynamic, more people to interact with, more people to learn from, more people to contribute, more people to swap shifts with, and just a bigger family. And then the same thing happened with number 3. They were like, no,
Isn't too enough.
Wasn't too enough. And then sure enough, with the third one, there's more opportunities for growth for them. So
Yes.
rather than being sales manager at YogaSix Mountain View, they could be regional sales manager of all 3 or 4 or 6. So we're giving everybody stepping stones to help advance
So your
their
success
career.
become their success as well.
Yeah. And we want, as much as we want to grow, it's not just for growth's sake. It's really about our team and helping them grow and stay connected to the process. Otherwise, they'll burn out and quit. And then it's just a grind, right?
Because everybody's thinking maybe about growing, but they're finding questions like those naysayers. Let's say, oh, you shouldn't do this, what if? But if you change your heart and light and says, hey, this is not only for me, it's for you. You are part of this. He's going to be even better. And you got to keep teaching the team more about your passion as well and transfer that into the team so they align with that. So you don't have blocking stones or resistance and change.
Yeah. Yeah. And they look back on those days and we joke about it. We're very transparent with our team. We want them to learn from us. We're open with our books for them to see. We're open with our processes for them to see and share at their workplace where they may have another job. They take the skills and processes they learned with us to their other job. It helps them get a raise or a promotion at their other job because they've increased their skills.
That's right.
So we're really we thought we were going into the yoga business, but it's really about the people. It's about our staff. And no matter what they're doing, it's about making them feel like family. And I think because we really put them first, they're very loyal. And so I feel like they'd do anything for us because they know that we'd do anything for them.
Wow. Last time somebody told me, I can't quote the person, but it says number one reason why people look for the job is income and security, right? Everybody has the bills and mortgages. We all have to pay it. But number one reason people quit the job, that's what struck me, is they hit a ceiling. Either they stop growing, they stop learning, or they have some kind of management problem. But people feeling stagnant and hitting plateau is what makes them move. What you did is people not necessarily wants to change, but internal drive desires it. And by opening locations, not only you're helping your own goals and mission and fulfillment, but also doing this for them as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm going to add to that, we've gotten a little creative to do that. So there's certain positions, you have your wellness advisors, your reception, front of house people, and you have your yoga teachers. But we provided opportunities if they have a certain passion. So if your passion is social media, great. In addition to that job there, if you'd like, you can also do this. We have people who have passion for retail. And what we've noticed is the energy that comes from someone who isn't doing the exact same thing every day, they're getting to also put time into their passion, has been amazing. And honestly, it has helped our business seamlessly grow and make operations easier because people are taking some of the ownership out of the mix. Yeah. So the other thing, because we have the YogaSixes and we also have the Tonik Fitness and the Zing, is we have people who work at all those companies.
Mm,
And so they've got full-time jobs, but there's a variety of different positions they hold. And so that keeps them excited because they're not doing the same position for 40 hours a week.
yes.
So,
Yes. That variety is what human needs is. We all need that part of it.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
We like certainty to keep us safe, but we need that spice of like differentiating different things in a work
Yeah.
environment, in a private life as well. So
Especially nowadays. I mean, I think people's attention span is really short, and
yes,
they need ways to engage with something other than their phones.
I agree. Better to entertain them than letting them take over that entertainment and focus on the side. I want
That's
to
right.
touch base here on one doubt that many business owners have. I'm running one business. It takes all my time. I'm overtime there, and just idea about opening second one. You kind of started with the two businesses. I want you to kind of help us understand that dynamic. Was having two businesses productive, like damaging for your business, or did it help? Like, how was it distraction or helpful having Tonik Fitness and YogaSix initially?
So helpful. So, I mean, the whole thing is a learning process for us, and we stay so engaged if we're learning. And what we learn from one business helps us with the other. And then how we work together changes when we have to have a constant dialogue about, okay, this is my realm, that's your realm. We talk to each other, but we stay in our lanes. And it's a constant dialogue between us and our team, and hiring and changing people's roles. And we just love the energy of all of that.
Because you started in 2020. I know you told me first year you don't even count it because you couldn't even build it up. Contractors could come during the COVID. Nothing was working. So we don't count that year at all. And then you started it after that. That's almost impossible to grow. Everybody's still afraid of that, like group environment, forget about it. And you have a business, Toni Fitness, personal training, and you are running YogaSix, lifting it off the ground with incredible success now, extending multiple locations. So which one was carrying you through? Was the Toni Fitness one that helped you lift up YogaSix?
Yeah. Yeah, well, in March of 2020, we were starting to build our studio, but also in pre-sales. So we were selling memberships to people without having a studio built yet. And that was a hard road. At the same time, in March of 2020 is when everything went online. So including personal training. We had been going to people's houses and had our staff going to people's houses and to gyms to do personal training, but literally everyone switched up to online because we had to. Even our older clients, we had to teach them how to use Zoom. And then all of a sudden our clientele for Tonik Fitness really grew because we could see people from all over the country and all over the world, and they were all telling each other about us because they're like, you can still work out, just sign up with the Toni and Audrey, So Tonik Fitness really did grow a lot in 2020, and that did help us personally, financially get through that sort of crisis where we thought YogaSix was going to bring us money in 2020. And instead we were spending all our time trying to get a break from the SBA and trying to get a break from our landlord and trying to apply for city grants and county grants and state grants and all the things. But we did grow our membership even without a studio. When we finally were able to open, they only allowed us to open at 10%, which is not viable. We switched our yoga memberships to online. So we did offer a full schedule of classes online all throughout COVID, and our members stayed with us.
Wow. We also just want to note too, we also maintain all of our staff for YogaSix. So we not only had the online classes, so they would come into the studio, they'd just be there alone, have the class, it's live, they're interacting with the people online, so people felt like a little bit like they have community. But the other thing,
and we charged full price for that, by the way.
Yeah, we charged full price. We did not discount for that. And then to maintain the team, like make an Instagram post, we'll pay you for it. Do this, we'll pay you for it. We were frankly just making up work, right? Because we were really excited about the team we were able to compile. We didn't want to lose them. And it was also the right thing. I mean, it's not like in COVID, you were just going to go out and interview for a new job. So,
that's just a mindset. If you ignore that says this will pass, I'll just wait 3 months, nothing will happen. business might die. But you says, oh my God, I have no physical limitation. I can serve countries in any time zone across the globe, and that happens. But I'm also concerned or excited in the same time about new wave of change that's coming, and that's AI coming into the world of businesses.
Yes.
And it's not strong that mandated by government that you have to shut down and force everybody in the same. It's by choice. And I believe the businesses that take that choice sooner will be prospecting a lot faster than those who don't. Lately, Peter Diamandis says, by the end of the decade, we'll have two kind of businesses: those who fully utilize AI and those who don't exist. So being proactive versus reactive is the next wave of change that we all need to jump in.
Yes.
So I don't know how much is that in your world of yoga business, but this is the way where world is now going in, and it's going to hit really quickly. Have you guys considered any AI implementation so far or no?
Oh, we're implementing as we speak.
Yeah, so we're moving our sales process to AI. So people still want to connect with a human being.
Right.
So for the in-person yoga, it's never going to go away. Even if it looks like the person's in the room with you, if it's a bot, if it's an
Right.
AI generated yoga teacher, it's not the same, right? So we want someone we can talk to, another human being. So yoga's not going away, but how we sell it certainly will. How we manage it certainly will.
Some parts of operations, some part of sales process, communication, lead generation, conversion, all of that can be helped by automating those boring tasks, repeating tasks, and putting into.
Yes. Yeah. So we are starting that actually next month in our sales process, and it will take some burden off our wellness advisors to be constantly texting and calling prospects and booking them for their first class, second class, trial class, all of that. We'll see. It's a test run. That's
exciting.
Obviously, it's new for everyone, but I think people are getting used to the idea of interacting with the bot if it's programmed well.
If it's programmed well, if it's transparent, if they know, I always says it's a brand new employee. Everybody make mistake, but eventually becomes really good. The longer you train it, the better it becomes. So we are all obsessed in Referrizer about AI. It's like all over the places. It's coming from the voice to the text to the video through the immersion to the moment when it becomes even preferred way of communicating.
Yeah, we're certainly investing in it. So, in terms of investing stock into AI companies. So,
there we go. Double down.
We're hoping for the best. Yeah.
Double down. That leads me to a question that people like to ask about growing businesses. You see, I search for yoga, not even YogaSix, in Mountain View, in Palo Alto, in Oyster Point. You guys come out with 292 5-star reviews. And the next yoga studio is like 35. You're an obvious choice. And I see you still running Facebook ads, right? You're supplementing. I want to first talk about these reviews. And you're getting reviews. If you sort them by newest to the latest, you're getting them. You're responding to those reviews. Like, how did you figure out this reviews and reputation and Google? Was this organic for you, or this is a planned channel? And how much Google makes impact on lead generation for you?
Do you want to take this one?
Go ahead. No, take this.
Yeah, we knew from day one it would be important. Everyone searches on Google and Google Maps, so they want us to see right away what's near me, what's good, and we want it to be at the top of the list every single time. And people don't give reviews by default; they just don't, unless they're bad.
Yeah, that's right.
So we are
bad reviews comes from bad experience and competition and bad employees.
Yes.
We are hawks around our online reputation, and so we hire a reputation manager who helps solicit reviews from our yogis in a very discreet, friendly way, and they really handle everything from beginning to end, including responses to reviews. And we have to work, with them to help them have the same way of responding that we would. Also, we learn from them what is the best way to respond, because we've never done it before. So and they help us to actually get rid of reviews that are not legal to post. So they do the process of going back to Google or Facebook to say, hey, this, you can't post this, take it down. So that saves us time. And then we call every review that is less than 4 stars, we call them and we talk to them and learn from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means you care. One word, you care about your
we care.
credibility.
Yeah, we care about our credibility, and we get good ideas from people who criticize us, and then we change if it makes sense. So, and we let them know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
and they appreciate it. It's the same across in our company. People are surprised by probably receiving that call. They found like, oh my God, I was like, oh, I didn't know I'm going to be called.
They're
like,
surprised.
They start apologizing. They start, okay, I'll change it. You have communication and things happen, right?
That's okay.
Yeah, especially when we get those reviews where this is corporate, blah, 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 something where, so then we pick up the phone and say, I'm one of 2 owners.
And we live right next door.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I go to school with your kids,
Yeah, they're in the same classroom. So we're not this big, bad, big brother corporation that you're implying. And I think they really appreciate that human touch. And like Audrey said, we've learned a lot from, whether it comes through on Google or someone walking up to us to a studio saying, I really don't like this. And we're always quick to say, tell me why, instead of that, I don't want to hear about it, because so frequently that why makes perfect sense. So you can take that feedback and it improves the business.
Quickly, you become better. You will never get the same review again. Reviews, usually they are not even relevant to that is your core business. I remember business have construction zone in front of the business on a parking lot, leaving dirt on the people's tires. I was like, I hate coming. It's always dirty tires, right? I was like, oh my God, this is easy, quick fix. Okay. I'm going to get my employees to park all the way back, leave primer, parking lot for my clients and keep it clean, like done deal.
Yes.
So stupid things can make such a huge impact.
And you don't know that that's a pain point for someone until they share it, because it may not be a pain point for you. And so you kind of have that vision of, this is my pain points. You need other people to say, this is what I need. This is what I want.
One thing that we've done recently to boost reviews is that the request for the review comes from the teacher. So if you took a class with Tiffany, it says, hi, this is Tiffany. I loved having you in class. Could you post a review? So that really makes people want to respond with a review, because the request came from the teacher.
So it's intrinsic motivation. It's like moral responsibility. I'm going to see you again next time, and I don't want to be called again.
That's right. I don't want to go look at Tiffany and say, put that review
on. Yeah, I'll do it next time, right? There's 2 kinds of motivation. That's intrinsic, like people, moral responsibility, and extrinsic, like people wants to reward people. Like, oh, you can get loyalty points, or you can get gift cards or something, appreciation coupons, prizes, so on. Both works in a certain order. It depends on how good relationship is, or is there a relationship. But you guys obviously doing something incredible. In 3 years, I will call it, you dominated local search, and there's 50 yoga studios around you probably, and you just stand out. And Google doesn't even show more than 3 in the first listing. Like, you are right there on top. Talking about, do you guys access your Google My Business listing? Do you see the number of calls, clicks, website directions? How much that impacting real number of leads coming in and sales?
We have tried, but we haven't found it to be correct. So, unfortunately, it's not been a good tool for us.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you're running also Facebook ads. Which one did you find working for you? Because sometimes in yoga businesses, Facebook ads are challenging, right? It has to be a lot of tune-up. What's your experience with the Facebook ads?
Well, we obviously don't do our own ads. We have a digital marketing company do them. But what we noticed is that we can get a ton of leads pretty easily, but most of them are not good leads. So what we've done more recently is to change the lead form. So we're not using a Facebook lead form anymore.
I saw
that people can easily autofill. It does direct them to the website lead form, and we're getting fewer leads, but at least we're not wasting time on bad leads with our sales team. So yeah, and we're constantly changing our ads, and our digital marketing company obviously is tracking the number of clicks and the number of conversions for each ad type,
Mhm.
each image, and they're constantly like putting the one that's working the best up and taking the others down. We give them local content so that you can tell like it's our studio, it's Mountain View, it's not like Palm Desert or something like that. So that makes a difference too.
Wow.
I want to
Talking about, go ahead,
expand
please.
on that for a second. So when we were first doing digital marketing, they were using the canned content that was coming from Southern California or somewhere else. And just making sure that the ads represent the actual people coming into our studio versus someone in another state or another region really made an impact, because our studio is really fortunate that if you walk in there, you will of course see both genders, but you will also see all genders, and you will also see all body shapes, all backgrounds, all colors of people. And that was always our goal. If we really wanted to have a studio that was open to everybody, like our personal training is open to everybody, we had to realize it. And part of that was having the ads align with that.
And it's better conversion as well, because they feel familiar. It's like, oh, you don't show me some shiny, crazy, once in a blue moon expectations. I come in like, oh, that's not what I saw.
Yes,
exactly. And, to be honest, yoga studios have in the past tried to feel exclusive, right? They tried to make you feel like, oh, it'd be really hard to be part of this cool club. We on purpose have flipped it so that everyone can walk in the door, whether you're disabled, whether you're old, whether you're young, no matter what, like you can feel at home the minute you step in the door. You don't have to earn it. We have to earn your trust. So it's a different mindset. Yoga studios are known to be intimidating, a bit scary. You got to earn your way in the door. You got to earn your way to stay in that front row, You got to earn the attention of the instructor, all the things. And
you're ranking without color coding it, right?
Yes. We're for all the other people who aren't comfortable with Sanskrit, which is the yoga sort of, ancient language, who aren't comfortable necessarily chanting on their first day, right? We're going to teach you how to stand, we're going to teach you how to kneel, basic things so you can really feel safe and supported, and then help you along the way and not make you feel like you're wearing the wrong pants and you brought the wrong mat and you're too short. And that's how you can feel in some traditional studios.
I can totally see that, because my wife wants to do yoga. She never did it. And I wish your studio is close to me because she always says, I'm not flexible. I'm not good fit for yoga. Like, that's exactly why you need yoga. You don't go there because you're flexible. You go there because you want to become fun. Like, just go.
Yeah. The amount of times people walk up to us and we're at some kind of event and they'll say, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga. My question always is, are you too dirty to take a shower?
I love that one.
This is why we do yoga. And, and to expand a little bit on what Audrey was saying is, one of the cool things is, yes, we do teach people how to kneel, how to stand, how to sit, but you can be in a room with somebody who's taking their very first ever yoga class, and then somebody who in Chaturanga is flipping up to a handstand because they've been doing yoga for 10 years. And the nice thing is our instructors know how to teach to all levels and make everybody feel like, oh, that instructor's talking directly to me. They go through a lot of training with YogaSix to be that person who makes everybody feel like, oh, they're totally talking to me, but a whole room of people.
And I can say,
modifications and props. So for any fitness business, and not just yoga, it would apply that you want to feel accessible to a first timer and to someone experienced at the same time. It's a fine art, but it usually involves modifications, various equipment to provide props and help and support, or more advanced levels of whatever it is that you're doing. And then keep your eye on everyone to help them feel like seen during class, know their name, know their injuries, know that they just went on vacation, all the things that make them feel like, oh, this is my home away from home.
But we also do something to make them feel safe. A lot of people don't feel safe, especially something new. Like, oh, is the instructor going to come over and, yank my arm up or move my leg. So we have these yes, no cards, which are super simple. If you want to have an adjustment, you simply put it right in front of your mat. Yes. So when the instructor comes over, if it says yes, they'll give you an adjustment. If it says no, they'll probably give you a verbal cue, but not adjust you. And you can even change that throughout the class, because you might think, hey, when I'm on my back, I don't want you to touch me. But if I'm standing up, you can touch me, so you can give those adjustments. And so we really want to make everyone realize this is a safe space.
Is that part came from corporate instructions as SOPs, or this is something you came up with?
These are corporate SOPs. It's one of the reasons we chose YogaSix, because they had these from the very start, and we embrace them fully. We're franchisees. We're like, we're in it or we're not in it. Let's be in it. And so we embrace these things. Some studios have them, but they just have them in the corner, and you kind of take them if you want one. But every time we're like, use this, use this, use this. Like, here's what it's for. Here's how you use it. Here's why we use it. So we really try to make the most of these SOPs.
And franchise comes as a business in a box. That's why I'm trying to tell people, it's half of the job, half of experimentation is already done. Somebody tried and failed 10 times to find one thing that works, and they scale it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're all very creative people. You want to try a million things, and a lot of things don't work. And then you get frustrated, stop even trying to innovate.
No, a McDonald's that sells lasagna is going to fail. Like, just do the thing that corporate says to do. And then give them corporate is very open to our feedback. So they've made some changes based on what we suggest. We love that, but don't just ignore what corporate says. Like, have a dialogue with your franchisor. Hopefully they'll be open to what you're experiencing in your studio and can change the SOPs as needed or regionally.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. It's not necessary. If something's working, just take it, scale it, utilize it, fully immerse yourself, and just take advantage of it.
Yeah. Otherwise, just do your own thing, because it doesn't make sense to be on the fence about it.
And even if you do it successfully, you will create SOPs for somebody else. You will be on the same spot, considering you're successful. So without rules, really, there's no scaling. There's no massive adoption. And it's easier for you just to pass it to employees.
Yeah. That we did consider doing our own thing and maybe becoming a franchisor, but we have 3 kids. We didn't have the bandwidth to create our own thing, so we really liked being a franchisee.
Well, we knew that because we had created our own thing, but it wasn't our own thing brick and mortar with, we knew the work it took to create that first own thing. And so we knew that expanding to brick and mortar, that was a whole nother leap. And I think it was incredibly fortunate that we had that other business. So we went in with eyes wide open.
Yes.
Of what we were getting with the franchise. And I think
so you need a solid stream of income to support new ventures, because it takes time to take off. It takes time to lift.
We might not ever be able to sell Tonik Fitness, even though it's actually more profitable than any of our other businesses. But if anyone bought our Tonik Fitness, it wouldn't be viable because it's not branded. So it's, so we needed something that we could sell later for
absolutely that has exit value. No doubt. And I have a couple really fast questions that's really easy to answer. But my last question here is, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs looking to start their journey as owners in fitness industry? Is there any common pitfalls that you should avoid?
Oh, goodness.
Like your cousin is coming in and says, I want to own the gym.
Yeah. Well, we
Toni,
can give the same
Audrey,
advice.
What should I do? What should I not?
Yeah. So I think common pitfall, and we didn't fall for it because we had our own business first, but common pitfall is don't assume you can have a business and not be involved.
Oof.
The whole, I'm just going to invest in this and it's going to run itself thing is the big lie, in our opinion. Audrey and I went in that with eyes wide open of knowing that, oh no, this is all hands on deck. You have to get this thing started off on the right foot. So I'd say that's a common pitfall. People think they're going to be a remote operator. And I don't think you can start that way. I think you can end up that way, but I don't think you can start that way.
Got it. No matter if you are putting a lot of money, says I'm going to hire great people, still there's no ownership and there's no operations and involvement like true owner being part of it.
even great people need you to drive the culture. They need you need to help them understand this is our beliefs. This is how we want it run. Do we want it to be super lean, no frills, or do we want it to be on the other end, or we want to be somewhere in the middle? Every great person still needs some kind of leadership and focus of this is what our goal is. And I think if you step away too quickly, honestly, it makes opportunities for Audrey and I to go and buy that at a better price.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. So listen, we're going to wrap up with a couple fire questions, really fast response questions.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you the question, and whatever first thing comes on your mind, you just speak. So leaders are learners. And who do you learn from? Who do you follow in the industry, like podcast, influencer, coach? Where do you get your knowledge?
I actually do a wide variety so I'm in franchise groups. And so I listen to those people there. I also listen a lot to YogaSix, and then I read a wide variety of books. The most recent, and forgive me, I'm going to forget the writer of the book, but Unreasonable Hospitality. That was the last one I just read.
Say again?
So, Unreasonable Hospitality.
Okay, that was my second question. What's the books you would recommend?
Yeah.
Okay, Unreasonable Hospitality.
So that is providing hospitality far beyond what people's expectations are. And turns out we were already doing some of that with like calling people directly after a review or after a good advice, or giving members our cell phone number, call us anytime.
Wow.
But I learned so much from that book of how we can take that concept of how we want to provide and expand it more. So
beautiful. Wow. So there are people in the industry. You see somebody stands out, usually. I would like you to name two people that you would like me to interview them on the next podcast, that you could take that as advantage and let me extract the knowledge from them. Like, who are the two people you would love to learn from and know their story? And
I would interview Jason Crandall.
Oh, yes. Jason Crandall.
Okay.
Crandell.
Oh, Jason Fensky. Good one. So Jason Fensky, he owns 2 YogaSixes, a cycle bar, and a Club Pilates. He and his partner, Chris Dordle. I mean, they've really taken the expand your franchise, but also across different modalities. And those are different beasts. So Club Pilates, I think you have 12 people in the room. Cycle bar, I think you have 45 or something like that. Is that right? In yoga, you're somewhere in the 30s. So you have very different sales models based on pricing structures and how many people are going to be in there, and then also intensity levels from your instructors. I mean, your cycle bar instructor is probably not going to be the calming influence you need in a Club Pilates. So I think they're a pretty interesting power couple because of what they've done to continue learning and growing.
Awesome. And the last question we're wrapping up is, as being a part of yoga industry, which conferences are you attending or recommending people to attend? Is there any communities or in-person conferences that you like?
No, so Audrey hates conferences, so I go to conferences. So we've gone to a franchising conference, which is not within yoga. It's people from everything from doggy daycare to mosquito control to owns multiple hotels, right? So we go to those conferences because it's franchising and understanding scaling. We go to the corporate Mastermind, franchise mastermind.
Franchise mastermind is a good group to join.
A good group to join.
And they have some conferences.
Yeah. The other would be, what we believe in is whenever we travel is we go to yoga studios, we go to fitness studios. We are constantly going to other places to see what are they doing right? What do we need to adopt? And what are they doing that we don't like, but we're not doing? That's fine. Just kind of a reminder never to do that. And then what are the things like, oh, we're doing that too. I wonder if it comes off feeling bad like it feels right now. So they're doing something like, oh, we do that too. Does that feel as bad as it feels right now? And if so, we need to go back and make some changes on that thing. So
Wow.
for us, that grassroots education has been critical, especially for Tonik Fitness. That's how we kind of got understanding how we wanted our business to grow. And we've taken that same way of being into YogaSix. And so we're always visiting studios, we're always visiting places, and we're doing that to see who's getting something right. It doesn't matter if it's a huge gym or a small gym or a big studio or a small studio. There's always something to learn. Always. If you just got your eyes open and really trying to tune in of how did this make me feel when they greeted me this way, or when they offered this to me, or how's the space feel? Is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it loud? Is it calming? So
little things matter. Little things matter. Sometimes it's like just what creates a gut feeling. Do you feel one of many, or do you feel like personal touch?
Yeah.
And you being a customer of your own industry, it really gives you that other side experience. Think, how does it feel me being customer in the world of what I'm serving?
Yes.
Oh, that's a great advice. That's a great advice. Guys, we're wrapping up on this incredible podcast. I'm so honored and privileged to have you both today. For you guys who are looking, check YogaSix. Go to their location, see in person, check how they're doing. And if you remember looking for this, an incredible yoga experience, this is the place to go. For two of you, I am honored and privileged to have you here and share your wisdom and advice for everybody else. I'm looking forward to follow your journey, success, and keep in touch and see how other people can be inspired by you as well. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Andre.
Thank you, Andre. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap on another impactful episode of Muscle and Money. A big thank you to our guests for sharing their insights. To our listeners, thank you for joining us on the journey to build more successful gyms. Remember, today's insights are just the beginning. Apply what you learn and keep pushing boundaries. For more inspiring conversations and expert advice, subscribe to Muscle and Money on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review and share with fellow gym owners on the mission to elevate their business. Until next time, keep flexing those entrepreneurial muscles. Here's to your success in and out of the gym.